Hello everyone, welcome back. It's good to see you again. Thank you very much for joining and taking your few minutes to watch this chess video. So in this chess game, again, I want to show one more chess game of Paul Keres from 1943 this time. And his opponent was John Foltys, who was the chess champion of Czech Republic, which is known as Czechoslovakia right now, I believe. So he became the chess champion of his country in 1940. A pretty tough nut to crack. So this chess game was played in the Salzburg chess tournament in 1943. So let's see what happened in this notable chess game. So e4 by Paul Keres. So c5, and then Keres played knight to e2. So he's playing his own variation. So this is the Paul Keres variation of the Sicilian defense. So attacking the pawn, developing and defending, and developing the pieces. g3, Keres wants to fianchetto his bishop, so takes, and then bishop to g2, and then knight takes on c3. Not knight takes, but b takes on c3. So Paul Keres is damaging his pawn structure intentionally, but he can now charge on d4, fighting for the center, and it also opens up the b file for the rook potentially, maybe, so pluses and minuses, but it damaged the pawn structure. So e6, and then Keres castled, bishop to e7, and black also wants to castle, and rook to b1. So this is why Keres also opened the b file. So castling c4 and gaining space on c3, gaining space and c3 and d4 is also always a possibility. And with this move, plus white can also play potentially bishop to b2 and aiming the king. So this also liberates the diagonal for the dark square bishop potentially, and he's going to have a pretty active bishop. So queen to d7, and Foltys wants to play b7 and fianchetto the bishop, so he supports the knight after pushing the pawn, so that bishop takes knight would be a disaster if black would push the b pawn. But we can say that he's supporting the knight, but we can say that he's little behind in the development against a very strong chess player like Paul Keres. So bishop to b2 as expected, and then b6, so d4, bishop to b7, not capturing the pawn because of knight takes on d4, and this knight is pinned, and this is getting dangerous. So, okay, it is getting extremely dangerous actually. So bishop to b7, and then d5, charging to the center. So knight to a5, and black is attacking the weak looking pawn. And in this position, Paul Keres played an incredible move. Well, he played knight to f4. It looks like he just simply blundered his pawn. And Foltys says, okay, so I capture the pawn, sacrificing a pawn for the attack without wasting any time. Can you see what was Paul Keres' idea? Okay, bishop takes on g7, all guns blazing offense by Paul Keres, which was probably unexpected by Foltys. And this is also attacking the rook, and at the same time threatening to play queen to g4, and black is not going to survive this attack. So what else? King takes on g7. But in this position, after bishop takes on g7, if let's say defending the rook, then queen to g4, and black is in big trouble. So okay, bishop takes on g7, an unexpected attack by Paul Keres. So king takes on g7, and then checking the king, and if king moves forwards, that's just walking into the lion's den. So king goes back, and then d takes on e6. This also opens up the diagonal for the bishop, and black played rook to g8, and I put question mark next to this move because this was a blunder, a blunder of epic proportions. But if black would have played something like f takes on e6, then can you see what happens? Then simply knight takes on e6, both attacking the rook and also threatening checkmate. So if a normal move like rook to g8, then queen takes knight, the knight is hanging and white is winning. This would have been better than the game continuation, although white is still winning. So white is a pawn up as well. And also look at the king, extremely unsafe. It looks extremely unsafe. So this is why king goes back and then capturing the pawn. By the way, what happens, so after d takes on e6, queen to c7, let's say, then we have a similar continuation, knight to h5, threatening checkmate. So if rook to g8, queen takes on c4, and black's king side has been damaged. And on the other hand, white has a solid fortress, as you can see. And let's not forget, white is a pawn up in here. So, okay, but can you see why rook to g8 was a question mark, why this move was a blunder? Okay, simply queen takes rook, check, sacrificing the queen temporary, in between move, check, in between move. Queen takes on g8, and after this move, Foltys resigned at move 18. So the possible continuation, capturing the queen, and what's wrong with this picture? Well, basically white has the exchange and white is winning. So the possible continuation, bishop takes on g2, king takes bishop, and if knight to d2, forking the rooks and hoping to get back the exchange, then we have rook from b to e1, and this is winning for white. So king to f8, black can't let that happen. I mean, rook takes bishop that would be a very bad news. And then rook to h1, because in this position, if knight takes rook, let's make a simple calculation. Then rook takes bishop and threatening to play rook to e8, rook takes rook, queen. So black has to play something like this, and then this is basically trapping the knight. Where is the knight going? Okay, white is winning. So, okay, what an incredible attack by Paul Keres. So I hope you have enjoyed watching this chess game, and I hope to see you next time again. Take care, stay safe, and bye-bye.